Hello everyone, magandang buhay sa lahat. Welcome na welcome po kayo dito sa aking Mathematics Tagalog tutorial. Sa video na ito ay papaliwanag ko po sa inyo the different sampling techniques in collecting data. So what are the sampling techniques? We have three. First, simple random sampling. Second, stratified sampling. And the third one is systematic sampling. So ano nga po ba itong three different sampling techniques na ito na ginagamit natin to collect data from a big group or population? Okay, at magbibigay po ako ng scenario or example or statement wherein these sampling techniques be applicable. Okay, so bago ko po i-present yung different sampling techniques, yung kanilang mga examples, i-define muna natin ano nga po ba yung sampling from the word sampling techniques. Okay, so sampling is the process of selecting a subset of individuals or elements from a larger population for study. Okay, so yung sampling techniques ay kapag malaki yung population na gusto nating makuhanan ng data, ay gagamit po tayo ng sampling technique. So yung sampling ay ito po yung subset of individuals. Pag sinabi po nating subset of individuals, ay part po ng population. Okay? Hindi lahat ay kukuhanan natin. Kukuha lang po tayo ng konti mula po sa population. Ang ibig sabihin po nun ay sampling. Okay? From the word sampling, meron po tayong word na sample. So yung sample po ay is the subset of the population under study. Okay, so yung sample, ito po yung subset of individuals na sinabi po dito. Okay? So ito po yung part ng population. So ano nga po yung population? Again, sabi ko po kanina, ito po ay group. Or population is the set of all possible cases from which data are collected. So yung population, ito po yung kabuang group na gusto po nating makuhanan ng data. Okay, ipipresent ko po sa inyo using Venn diagram. Okay? Ibaba ko po yung definition. So for example, this big circle, that is our population. So ito po yung group na gusto po nating makuhanan ng data. Kaya lang, syempre, napakalawak po yung population na gusto natin makuha ng data, kaya magsasampling techniques po tayo. Okay? Kukuha po tayo ng sample mula po dito sa population. Kaya yung sample, ito lang po yung part ng population. Okay? So, gagamit po tayo ng sampling techniques. At yun nga po, yung tatlo na gagamitin natin, paano nga po ba kumuha ng sampling? Hindi po basta't kukuha ka po ng mga data mula po sa population. Dapat gamitan po natin ng sampling techniques. Okay, so let's start with the first sampling techniques. This is the simple random sampling. So ano nga po ba yung simple random sampling? Every individual in the population has an equal chance of being selected. Okay, so ito po yung pinakamadali na sampling techniques. Ano po? Yung simple random sampling. So lahat po ng individual ay meron pong chance na sila po ay makuha. Ano po? Okay, paano po ba ito gawin yung sampling, simple random sampling na ito? For example, ito po yung ating scenario. Conducting a classroom survey. Okay? So, you are a teacher and you want to conduct a survey on the opinions of students in the school regarding the effectiveness of reviewing early in the morning. The total student population in the school is 500. Okay. So ito yung ating scenario. Paano po gamitin itong simple random sampling? Okay. So again, recall natin, imagine kayo po ay teacher and then magsusurvey po kayo about the effectiveness of reviewing early in the morning. So ang student population po sa school ay 500. Okay, so ito po yung steps na gagawin natin kapag ang gagamitin po natin ay simple random sampling mula po doon sa scenario. Okay, so first step is that identify the population. So again, sabi natin sa scenario, ang population po natin ay all the students in the school totaling 500. Okay, so 500 po yung students. So yun po yung ating population. Kabuang population po natin ay 500. Okay? So, siyempre, hindi po 500 lahat ang kukuha ng data. Ano po? Okay, second step to do simple random sampling is that assign a number to each individual. So, yung 500 na individual ay mag-a-assign po tayo ng number. Okay, 1 to 500. Ililista po natin. Okay, ito po yung example natin. Okay, example ko po dito ay, let us say, number 1, Emma. Number 2, Roldan. Number 3, Michael. Number 4, Venus. Hanggang makarating ka po sa 500 kasi 500 po yung population natin. Halimbawa, ang pang 500 ay si Tony. Okay, so after po ma-list lahat ng estudyante, 1 to 500, pag mayroon na po silang unique number, ito po yung ikatlong step. Determine the sample size. Decide on the sample size you want for your survey. Let's say you want a sample size of 50 student. So itong number 3 step, it's up to you. Ilan po yung sample size na gusto po ninyong makuha. Halimbawa, 500 po yung estudyante natin. Okay, so 50 lang po yung gusto mong i-survey. Okay? Ito lang po yung sample size mo, 50. So, kukuha po tayo ng 50 students out of 500 students. Okay? So, pag meron ka na pong sample size, ang next step mo po ay use a random selection method. Okay? So, paano po natin kukunin yung 50 na students out of 500 students? Okay, ito nga po yung sabi niya, use a random selection method. Paano po gawin to? Randomly select the sample. You can use various methods. One simple way is to use a random number generator. So, may mga apps po tayo sa ating cellphone na kukuha po ng number or siya po yung mag-raffle ng number at magpipresent po siya ng number 1 by 1. Ang tawag po doon ay random number generator. Or kung wala naman po kayo noon, pwede pong manually na gagawin natin, draw numbers from a hat. For example, mag-cut ka po ng papel, 500 pieces na maliliit, and then isulat mo yung numbers sa ating papel. Okay? So, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, bawat papel may number up to 500. And then, pagkatapos po, ilagay po ninyo sa hat or sa sombrero. And then, haluin po yon and then mag-draw po kayo ng number. Okay? For examples, examples po natin of random numbers can be, for example, yung unang bunot mo ay 27, second, 142, third pick, 305, fourth pick, 48, and so on. Hanggang makapick po kayo ng 50 na numbers. Okay? Okay, so next, pag meron na po kayong 50 na numbers mula po dun sa ating 500 numbers ay select the chosen individuals. Okay? So tignan na po ninyo kung ano po yung mga pangalan ng estudyante na nakatapat po dun sa 50 numbers. So identify the students corresponds to the randomly generated number. Okay? So pag meron na po kayo dun nung pangalan ng estudyante out of 50 na numbers, then ito po yung panghuling step. Invite the selected individuals to participate. Okay? Reach out to the selected students and invite them to participate in your survey on the effectiveness of reviewing early in the morning. Okay, so ganun po yung process ng pagkakandak po ng simple random sampling. Okay, so as a summary of simple random sampling, so for example, ay meron kang population at ang population mo po ay 500 according sa ating example kanina. And then out of 500, you are going to assign numbers for all the 500 students. Okay, for example, 1, Emma, 2, Roldan, out of 500, Mark. Then next, pag mayroon ka na pong assigned number for each individual, for each student, and then choose po ng sample size. So, for example, ang sample size mo po ay 50. So, mula po dun sa 500 ay magdodraw lots ka ng 50 numbers. Okay? So, halimbawa, ito po yung mga different numbers ninyo or 50 numbers and so on. And then, pag nakuha na po yung 50 numbers, then kukuha na po ninyo kung ano yung mga pangalan. Ano po? Ng numbers na yon. Okay? 250, Susan. 16, Tony. 375, McCoy. At number 3, Michael. Okay, number 3, nakalagay po dito, Michael. Okay, so, and then, ito pong mga pangalan na ito ay invite ninyo for sampling. Okay, so yun po yung summary ng simple random sampling steps. Okay, for the second sampling techniques, it is the stratified sampling. So ano po kaya itong stratified sampling? Dividing the population into subgroups or strata and then randomly sampling from each subgroup. Okay, so ang keyword po ng stratified sampling ay mayroon po siyang subgroups. Ano po? So igugrupo-grupo po natin yung buong population at yung bawat group na iyon, yun po yung kukuhanan ng sample. Okay, so ito po yung ating example, assessing academic performance in a school. At ito po yung ating scenario. Okay? Ito po yung ating example na scenario. Suppose you are a researcher interested in understanding students' academic performance in a junior high school. The school has a total population of 600 students, and you want to ensure that your sample is representative across different grade levels. Let us say grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. Kasi ito po ay junior high school lang. Okay, so ito po yung ating scenario. Okay? So may group po sila as grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. So paano po kaya natin ikakandak ito pong stratified sampling? Okay, so these are the steps in stratified sampling. First step, identify the population. So kanina sa atin pong case or scenario, ang population po natin ay students in junior high school, totaling of 600. So 600 po yung lahat ng estudyante. Okay? So yun po yung ating population. So next step, we are going to define strata. Pag sinabi po nating define strata, ito po yung subgroup out of 600 students. Okay? So divide the population into strata based on the characteristics of interest. Sa example po natin, in this example, the strata are the different grade levels. So nabanggit po sa case kanina or sa scenario na ang subgroups po natin ay yung grade level. Let us say grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. Okay, so after po nating ma-determine yung strata or subgroup, ito po yung third step natin. Determine the sample size. Okay, so gaano po kaya karami ang sample na kukunin po natin out of the 600 students. Okay, decide on the overall sample size you want and the proportion of the sample from each stratum. Okay, so let's say you want a total sample size of 100 students. So out of 600 students sa ating population, let's say ang gusto po natin ay 100 students with the goal of representing its grade level proportionality. Okay, so sabi po kanina natin ay kukuhanan po natin from grade 7 to grade 10. Ito po yung sample size allocation. Since ang sample size po natin na gusto ay 100. So, i-divide po natin yung 100 out of the 4 grade levels. So, grade 7, 25, grade 8, 25, grade 9, 25, grade 10, 25. Pag tinotal po natin ito, 25 times 4, that is equal to 100 students. Okay, ganun po yung gagawin natin. Ano po? So, pipiliin po muna natin yung size and then i-divide natin kung ilan po yung grupo. At kung ilan po yung estudyante bawat grupo, yun po yung kukuhanan natin ng data. Okay. Okay, so after po tayo makapag-assign kung ilan pong number ng students for grade level, ito po yung next step natin. Since sabi po natin kanina ay tag to 25 bawat grade level. Okay, so next po ay randomly select within strata. Ano pong ibig sabihin nitong fourth step na ito? Use random sampling within each stratum to select the specified number of students. Okay? You can use methods like random sampling technique. For example, if you are using random number generator, generate 25 random numbers for each grade level. So, gagawin lang po natin dito ay babalik po tayo sa simple random sampling. So, sa bawat group, sa bawat grade level, ay kukuha po tayo ng 25 students. So, again, kukuha po tayo ng 25 numbers, mag-random po tayo, kuha po tayo ng 25 numbers at yung 25 po na numbers na yon, may assign pong students, yun po yung mag-represent ng bawat grade level. Ano po? Okay, so pag i-Venn diagram po natin, ganito po yun. So ito po yung ating kabuuang population, ito po yung 600 students. For example, andito po yung 600 students sa ating oval. So, bawat grade level ay kukuhanan po natin ng tag to 25 students. Okay? So, mag-generate po tayo ng 25 students from grade 7, 25 students from grade 8, 25 students from grade 9, and 25 students from grade 10 para makuha po natin yung sample size na 100 students. Okay, for the third sampling technique, the systematic sampling. So ano po kaya itong systematic sampling? Selecting every nth individual from the population after random start. So paano po kaya ito gawin, itong systematic sampling? So ano po kayang ibig sabihin ng nth individual? So ganito po yun. Ito po yung kanyang steps. So ito po yung example natin, surveying customers in a coffee shop. At ito po yung ating scenario. Okay? Scenario po natin from our example, surveying customers in a coffee shop. Imagine you are conducting a survey to gather feedback from customers in a busy coffee shop. The shop has a total population of 500 customers, and you want to systematically survey a representative sample. Okay, so sa coffee shop, ay gusto po nating makuhanan ng feedback yung 500 customers. So paano po natin i-apply ito pong systematic sampling? Okay, so these are the steps in conducting systematic sampling. Okay? So first step, always po, identify the population. So sa ating pong senaryo, ang population po natin is all the customers present in a coffee shop during a specified time, totaling 500 individuals. So ito po ang ating population. Ano po? 500 individuals in a coffee shop. Okay, second step, determine the sample size. Okay, so sample size po, ilan po yung gusto natin na i-survey. Okay, decide on the overall sample size you want. Let's say you want to survey 500 customers or 50 customers rather. So for example, out of 500 customers, 50 lang po yung gusto po nating i-survey. Yun na po yung ating sample size. Okay, so for the third step, after po nating makuha yung sample size natin na 50, calculate the sampling interval. Ito na po yung kanina yung nth. Okay, so sampling interval or K. Determine the sampling interval or K by dividing the total population by the desired sample size. Okay, so ito po yung ating K. Total population, ilan po yung population kayo natin? 500 at yung sample size po natin na napili ay 50. Kaya 500 divided by 50, that is equal to 10. So ang K po natin ay 10. So paano po natin gagamitin itong 10 na ito in systematic sampling? Ano po kaya next step? Okay, so ito po yung next step natin. Random start. Paano po tayo mag-start? Kasi end term po yan. So choose a random starting point within the first K individual. For example, randomly select the second customer as your starting point. So ito pong second, it's up to you kung second. Okay? So again, ang K natin ay 10. So paano po tayo mag-random start? Okay, so ang pinili po natin for example ay second. Pwede naman pong piliin nyo ay third. Pwede naman po ay fourth. Pwede naman po ay fifth and so on hanggang 10. So ang pinili ko po dito ay second. So since ang first natin na sample ay yung second na individual. Okay? So yung second customer. Ano po yung kasunod na number mula po dito sa customer po natin na 1 to 500 customers. Okay? So ang first po natin ay second. Ang kasunod na po doon, since ang K po natin ay 10, ito po yung 10th. So 10 po ang interval. Ano po? So 2, ang kasunod po dyan ay 12. Ang kasunod po dyan ay 22. Ang kasunod po dyan ay 32, 42, 52, and so on hanggang makuha po natin yung 50 na sample size. Okay, so pag nakuha na po ninyo yung different sample or customers, eto na po, halimbawa, ilist na po natin, 2 ay si Emma, 12 Roldan, 22 Michael, 32 Venus, and so on hanggang makarating po sa 50 na individual. Ano po? So ang last po na may 2 ay 492 bago po mag 500. Ano po? Kasi 500 yung ating customer. Okay, so meron ka na pong sample mula po sa 500 na population natin. Okay, so yun po, o ganun po ginagawa yung systematic sampling. Ano po? Okay, so let's have an activity about the 3 sampling techniques. So ito po yung ating direction. For each scenario provided, choose the appropriate sampling technique to be employed. Okay, tatlo lang po yung ating sampling techniques. So ito po yung different scenario. At pipiliin po natin kung ano po yung appropriate sampling techniques. Okay, scenario number 1. You are conducting a survey to understand the preferences of students in a large university. To ensure representation from its academic department, you decide to sample 20 students from each department. Okay, so ano po kaya yung sampling technique na gagamitin po natin for this scenario? Okay, so meron po tayong keyword dito na ito pong department for each academic department. Okay, so ano pong ibig sabihin ng each academic department sa atin pong senaryo? Yung pong each academic department na ito ay by department daw po tayo kukuha ng ating sample. Okay, 20 students from each department. So ibig sabihin, nakagrupo po siya. So alin po dun sa tatlong sampling techniques ang may group? Okay, ang may group po dun ay yun pong stratified sampling. Yun pong may strata kanina, strata means subgroup. Okay, so yan po yung ating gagamitin na sampling technique for this scenario number 1, stratified sampling. Okay, for number 2 scenario, you are conducting research on the preferences of customers in a specific shopping mall regarding product placement. Okay, so ano po kaya yung sampling techniques na pwede nating i-apply for this scenario? So ito lang naman po ay conducting research on the preferences of customers in a specific shopping mall. Okay, so wala pong sinabing group, wala pong sinabing end term. So ibig sabihin, ang gagawin po natin dito, yung pinakang simple random sampling. So lahat po sila o lahat po ng customers ay may equal chance para po ma-select ano po as a sample. Okay, so how about this scenario number 3? You want to investigate the average commuting time of employees in a large office building with multiple departments. Okay, so ano po yung sampling techniques na gagamitin po natin for this scenario? Okay, so ang investigate po natin ay yung average commuting time ng employee sa isang large office. Kaya nga lang sabi po niya with multiple departments. So ibig sabihin, mayroong pong word na department. Ang department po kasi ay group. Okay, group po yung department. So ibig sabihin, kapag may group, yan po yung may strata or stratified sampling. Okay, for scenario number 4, you are interested in understanding the factors contributing to the success of students in a particular school, considering both academic performance and extracurricular achievements. Okay, so ito po yung case na simple lang. So wala pong sinabing group, wala pong sinabi po na end term. So ibig sabihin, ito po yung simple random sampling. Okay, for scenario number 5. In a city park, you want to survey visitors to gather feedback on park facilities. To make the survey process efficient, you decide to survey every 8 visitor who enters the park. Okay, so ano po kaya yung sampling technique na gagamitin natin for this scenario number 5? Okay, so meron po ditong nabanggit na to make the survey process efficient, you decide to survey every 8 visitors. Ito po yung meron po siyang end term, 8 visitor. So ano po yung gagamitin po natin kapag may end term? ang gagamitin po natin diyan, iyan na po yung systematic sampling, okay? So, maraming salamat kaibigan sa panonood. Kung natuto ka sa video na ito at nagustuhan mo yung lesson natin sa araw na ito, please click like and then subscribe kung bago ka pa lang po dito sa aking channel.